Greetings again and welcome back to Rick's Rails. Before posting any more videos of our club layout, I should probably give a little history of it. I'll try to be as brief as I can, but for me sometimes that isn't possible, so please bear with me. The current Union Depot building that now houses the model railroad was not actually the first depot built on that location. The first one was a small wooden structure built in 1869. The first little wooden depot will get torn down when the Union Depot is completed in 1892. That will have significance later on. In 1969, the last caboose had left the depot. The depot was closed and scheduled for demolition. But as sometimes happens, plans change. In February of 1973, the Lake Superior Transportation Club was formed. The club's original purpose was to build an HO scale model railroad, and it was to be built and located in the Transportation Museum, which was to be part of the St. Louis County Heritage and Arts Center located right in the depot. With the help of Donald B. Shank, Vice President and General Manager of the Duluth-Mesabi and Iron Range Railroad, space for the model railroad was obtained. I don't think you could ask for better help than that. But it didn't take long to realize the purpose of the club needed to include acquiring historic locomotives and cars for display. The work of preparing the site and the tracks for displaying the full-scale equipment was extensive. While all of that was going on, a replica of an old-fashioned small-town depot to house the model railroad was being built. I'll bet you thought I forgot about that little wooden depot that was built in 1869. Well, the current little replica depot that houses the model railroad is built on the same exact spot. This year, the Lake Superior Railroad Museum and the Lake Superior Transportation Club are celebrating their 50th year. Now, a quick word about our layout. Our layout is loosely based on things you could find in the Duluth area. Different locations, different building names, things like that are all scattered throughout the layout. The layout runs on DC or DCC, but not both together, obviously. We have done that because many of the old-timers, myself included, do not have all DCC equipment. Some have very few and are not inclined to go that route at this stage. The layout runs 7 days a week and is operated by push buttons on the outside of the building that the public can use. There are also push buttons for various animated features throughout. You may notice at some point an oil well pumping away. Now, naturally, you wouldn't find one of those in the Duluth area, but the museum's executive director likes it, so it stays. If you'll notice, there isn't any snow. But then this time of the year, or any time of the year, there's never any snow on the layout. But if you notice back by the roundhouse, you'll see the rotary snowplow. And it's one of the animated features. Every layout needs an old cemetery, right? I got the idea for this from the Thompson Pioneer Cemetery on the edge of town. The newest headstone that can be recorded out of there is 1891, I believe, and the earliest one is 1862. It's pretty run down, but it's still there. This ship is a new addition, just finished this year by one of our members. This is an actual photograph of the real sign, which is located 20 miles from town. It marks the exact spot where the Northern Pacific Railroad started. Now, I'm reasonably sure that there weren't any farms like this in the Duluth city limits, but I personally have seen old pictures of the Duluth hillside with cows standing in the yards. So that's a farm to me. And I'm sure the Goat Hill section of town didn't get its name because people had dogs for pets. And to this day, it's still known as Goat Hill. Are there streams in Duluth? Yes, there are. 44 named streams to be exact, and many of them are designated trout streams. This is the West Duluth section of the layout. There are many buildings represented here, like the Clear Flax, and the three on the back row here are very accurate reproductions. The Doric Theater was on Grand Avenue in West Duluth. This is the Iron Range section of our layout. We figured we needed it because you have to be able to justify long strings of ore cars every now and then. We keep it dark because we have the Broadway Limited lightning and thunder installed, but I'll be talking about that more in future videos. Our ore dock has been in our club for about as long as the club has existed. It's all scratch built and truly a work of art. One of my favorite scenes on the layout, it reminds me of my uncle's house. He lived literally that close to the ore docks at one time. The house wasn't that bad when they lived in it, but I'm sure that after they left it and it sat there abandoned, it probably got that bad before it was torn down. The guys that try to keep it all together and running, Matt, Rick, and Lloyd. This is the fourth guy, Steve. We don't get a lot of work out of him because he goes south for the winter every year. So when he does come back, we don't allow him time to turn around and smile for the camera. We just throw him a banana once in a while just to keep him working. So that's the history and the overall view of our club layout. I hope you found something in there enjoyable, and I do thank you for stopping by and watching. If you liked it, hit the like button and subscribe. It's about the only thing in the world these days that doesn't cost anything.